Oh, excuse me.
Nice start to the episode.
Oh, I know, right?
Mhm. All right, so let's get back on track. So, Gear,
Yeah.
question. So now that you've seen bits of the game now, what have you liked so far?
Ooh,
Like, what's your favorite stages?
not sure. I definitely want to say I'm loving the jungle stages. Sans all of this mushroom stuff. Definitely like the underwater segment. Like music definitely jives, you know?
Yep.
hmm
Okay. All right. So, what about, say, what's your favorite boss been so far?
Ooh, not sure. I will say, if you count the Emmys, I do love how much fun it is to literally just blast them to smithereens.
Oh, I'll count them as well.
Then definitely blasting the Emmys to smithereens.
Yeah, they're definitely a highlight.
No! Come back, whale! Thirsty Samus is thirsty.
Hmm.
So you want to hear something ridiculous?
Sure.
I was uploading episode 14, and I was getting ready to publish it while it was in its processing phase,
Hmm.
so that I could add it to the playlist and go about my day.
Hmm.
I had to come back and finish the job later because YouTube, in their most recent update, oh, you should always make a video private until processing is complete and the checks are done. Otherwise, you're at risk to get a copyright strike. So make your videos private and wait until they're done checking and then upload from and then make them public. And why wasn't this an issue when the copyright checks first came into place years ago?
You got me.
All sorts of ridiculous, unless companies are really trying to double down on the fact that they believe that fair use never applies to them when it does, and going out of their way to increase the amount of false strikes they want to file.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
Speaking on music, what would you say is your favorite track you've heard so far from the entirety of this? Is it still Berenia's, or would you say there's another one you like?
I'd have to look over the music again to double check that. And by that, I mean actually listen to different aspects of the soundtrack on a louder volume, but, you know, you can't beat the classic do 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 do. You know,
Yep.
it's like what the Bryn Star theme, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but you're not changing my mind on this. Where Castlevania is concerned, Simon's theme from Super Castlevania 4 better than Vampire Killer, even though both are iconic in their own right. You know.
I'm not gonna fight you on that.
Oh,
Let's see. That's 60% for right now. Let's see.
that marker up in the top corner, is that one that you forgot to take down, or is that one that you actually, yeah, up here, up here, up here?
Yeah, that one I need to figure out where the storm missile location is so that I can open that.
Cool, cool, cool.
I think it might be over. I think I might need to go here and then through there. But I'm also going to investigate up here as well. I mainly,
Oh yeah, no. Scroll back.
yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, that was the one I was talking about.
Yeah, that one I have to go to too. It's just I was going through this one so I can open this path.
All right then, let's go.
Yeah, Gavarin, I will say, of the locations we go into, is definitely probably one of the most convoluted. Mainly just because, again, of a lot of the areas you go into when you're going through there get cut off.
Mhm.
Like this entire area is completely cut off for progressing further, so you have to go through this way, which isn't too big of a hassle.
Then you've got that long ass stretch of breakable floor you just saw.
Yeah.
Got a speed boost a motherfucker there, huh?
Uh, Not really. It's either using the grapple beam or, as I just did, doing this.
Ah.
Usually, by the time you open this area, if you do it at the earliest, you only have access to the grapple beam or maybe the space jump.
Well, as long as you get across that breakable floor when you need to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Get rid of this.
Which way is she going, George? Which way is she going?
She's going that way.
Well, thanks a lot, George. Thanks a lot. Ooh, Missile get.
Yep. Big one.
But no. Let's see.
So, Gear, I know this Metroid isn't a franchise that you know as much, but where would you say you would put this game so far?
Definitely high up.
Yeah, same here.
Like I played honestly, and maybe it's just the fact that I didn't that I screwed up in a attempted 100% walkthrough playthrough before I ended up having to get sell it for store credit because I needed the money. But is like I would probably say maybe it's just like the Game Boy aspect of it, and that again because I didn't get to play through the updated 3DS version enough. But I would probably say the only game I don't think stuck out as that great was Metroid 2. You know?
The original?
Yeah, the Game Boy version.
Yeah, people do think that it's fun, but at the same time, a bit inferior to the other ones, which is understandable considering that it was on the original Game Boy.
I mean, it was a great console and everything, or a great handheld rather.
Yeah,
And the only real big issue I take with it is, the save batteries. Now, why can't we find a way to, replace the save batteries with actual SRAM chips,
hmm
and keep the time in like a Pokemon cartridge?
hmm
You know, yeah, it's like, but like it was small, limited cartridge space. The developers had very little to work with,
yeah, I know.
So it's like I can understand why a game on the scale of Metroid didn't translate super well onto such limited hardware when you had both the NES and the Super Nintendo being slightly superior, and why I think maybe like Metroid 2 would have been better fared on like the Game Boy Advance. Even though
Yeah,
that would have meant we never would have gotten Super Metroid on the game on the Super Nintendo.
yeah. I mean, Metroid Fusion's on the Game Boy Advance, and
translated came out a lot better than two did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Because let's see.
and to be honest, to the development team, it's kudos for trying. I think they did a damn good job with what they had, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Speaking on, I've told you that Fusion was the first like original and 2D Metroid I played, right?
Right?
Yeah, still holds up. One thing that even though some people find the enemies a bit on the annoying side, and I
Mhm.
can understand that, especially the later ones. One thing I did like about them was that it actually is said that. Are you familiar with the SAX Fusion?
SAX. So remind me what SAX stands for?
Samus Aran X.
Oh, no.
Okay, so basically, in the story of Fusion, after Samus gets infected with the X-Parasite,
Uh-huh.
basically some of her suit pieces that were taken off of her were taken for examination, and those eventually manifested into essentially copies of Samus, full use of her abilities and all of her things.
Uh-huh.
Basically, the most dreaded enemy in that game. One
Worse
thing
than the Emmys?
a little bit, but here's the reason why. In terms of power, like the biggest thing about the Emmys is that they are like incredibly durable. Whereas the SAX has all of Samus's abilities, including the ice beam, which she is very vulnerable to after the transfusion.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was that damn it, I missed that. But anyways, the thing about it was that while the SAX is kind of terrifying, people have found that because of the limited AI of the Game Boy Advance at the time, the SAX you can easily trick into cheesing it. At
Yeah?
least until like including even the final boss.
Hmm.
So one reason I like the Emmys is that basically, as they've said, the Emmy is basically the idea they had for the SAX, but never had the technology to make, which is one of the reasons why I kind of hope we do get a modern day remake of Fusion, if only to see how they would treat the SAX now with the technology available.
Well, bear in mind, it was Iwata who cared about the quality at Nintendo, not Miyamoto. I fear the ability to see a full-on remake of Fusion to improve the game and make it what it could have been if there weren't the limitations at the time,
Hmm.
died with the man.
I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, like part of me, at the very least, if they did, and it's done by the same people who have made this particular game, who also made the 3DS Samus Returns, I'd be hopeful.
Yeah. Like I said, the main reason I never really got through Samus Returns was because I was trying, in the very beginning, I screwed something up and I was okay, I'll do it later. Then I never got around to it. And
Hmm.
then it was like, okay, I really need the money for the game. And the only way I'm doing that is to sell some shit. I have nothing to sell, so I have to pick something that I'm barely playing and hope I don't regret it later.
Hmm.
Hmm. I mean, it's like getting older DS or 3DS games that I don't have anymore. Very rare for me based on what I really, really want it.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm listening,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
figuring out where to go
Yeah.
next
But it's
because
like with selling games for credit, a lot of more of what I've been regretting lately when I've been forced to fund a game in order to get it before the original box sells out, and I'm stuck with that shitty generic box making my collection look bad. Has mostly been Switch era stuff. Like I really, really hope I find some time within my budget to reobtain like Echoes of Wisdom.
Hmm.
I've been kind of thinking, even though I did re-download Sparking Zero Virtual Game Card to do some more playing of it, I like it, but I don't know. I just think between the story and the actual fighting versus mode, I just feel like I need something traditional like Fighter Z. So maybe consider getting that back. Bonus points if I can get a loose copy because Guess where my original Fighter Z box is?
Where?
In my storage locker.
That's
I
good.
only sold the cartridge just in case I ever wanted to buy the game back in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that was an issue of I don't need to sell something. It's like, I like my one-on-one fighting and three-on-three is okay, but it's driving me nuts that Bamco isn't giving us this one-on-one mode in the Dragon Ball fighting game. So far, only Extreme Budokan on the 3DS does that. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like on one hand, it's driving me nuts that there aren't more options for, like, say, one versus one.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, best Android waifu ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really a question of can I get used to it just because of Android 21?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And to be honest, it's not a bad game. It's if you've played any Dragon Ball Z arcade style fighter, you know that Fighter Z is just as good. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like now I'm tempted to buy that one back, but there wasn't as big a regret as Echoes of Wisdom. You know? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, and I think I was almost done with the first base three dungeons too. It's got that. I'm not going to be too super spoily for you, just because, but it's got that Link's Ocarina of Time, a Link to the Past type vibe, where you
Mm-hmm.
start out doing this quest through the three dungeons, and then the big story picks up from there. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There we go.
And the reason I'm just going to say that and nothing else is put it to you this way:
Mm-hmm.
the opening and the quest you're going on through the first three dungeons. Like I started playing the game when I first moved to this place. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, no fucking way, that did not just happen. You know, I mean, you find out why obviously before you go into the bigger territory and go through like the seven main dungeons aspect following.
Mm-hmm.
But the first set of three dungeons, where you're doing the base early quest, which would be the equivalent of the goddess medallions, so the goddess pendants from Ocarina or Link to the Past, you know?
Yeah, Link to the Past.
Yeah. Well, it was wasn't that also a part of? Wasn't it? Didn't you also have to get the goddess medallions in Ocarina of Time too?
They technically were more.
Because I know
Technically,
they were different from the elemental medallions, but they weren't medallions that you were collecting.
I believe,
Jewels,
yeah,
thank
they were
you. Yeah,
jewels.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, yeah, it's basically like that. You do this, some cutscene plays, and then the story takes a turn. Like Echoes of Wisdom has got that. And really, my only major complaint, as I've said multiple times, whether publicly said it on the channel or not, is my only major complaint is the fact that they don't give Zelda any permanent use weapons. I mean, you can get like a sword, a bow and arrow, and I think like bombs,
Mm-hmm.
but those have like a magic meter esque time limit. It's like getting through some of the enemies with just enemy. Like, if you're not careful when you're setting up enemy echoes,
Mm-hmm.
you can get surrounded, die, and it's not even your fault because a bunch of enemies jumped you and took you by surprise. You didn't have time to prepare, or you didn't have enough of Try's power to make echoes with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just using enemy echoes as a way of fighting. To me, that's just the biggest flaw the game has. They should have given Zelda some kind of weapon, even if it was like a wand with like infinite magic to just like snipe enemies. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like the closer you get, the more powerful it is. So the further you get, the longer it takes. So risk versus reward. You know,
Yeah.
go up like snipe the dangerous enemies from afar, but it takes longer to beat them. Or something like where Link can update his swords, like in A Link to the Past, to
Mm-hmm.
become more powerful, like that. I don't think it would have killed them because the puzzle solving with the echoes is pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. From what little I played, my first impressions would be 8 out of 10. If that continues on through actually getting the game back and continuing to play through it more to the end, I might keep that 8 out of 10. It's really just the lack of weaponry for Zelda that really prevents it from getting a 9. Yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what game you're currently on, because did you tell me you already beat Brothership?
No, I haven't beaten Brothership. I've beaten Bonanza.
Right, because
The I'm in the last stretch of Brothership from the looks of
yeah, I
it.
was gonna say if you move on to Echoes of Wisdom next, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a game that you're definitely gonna want to that you're definitely gonna want to like devote your free time to. It's like, hey, so I know that this game came out and I just bought it for the Switch too, but and people are telling me I should tear into it. Like, I gotta finish Echoes of Wisdom, you know?
I'm gonna figure out. Let's see. Ah,
Yeah, when in doubt, just vaporize everything.
I was just trying to figure out what block it was.
Ah,
Because my theory was that it was either cross bomb, but it looks like it was one of those that requires you to set them up like a bit perfectly.
yeah.
Luckily, if you have the power bomb, you can just say screw that.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's done. So I just need to get there. I think I've gotten everything I can get from Gavarin. I might, on my free time, check to see if there's any additional ones I might be able to get that I might have missed.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I mean,
But right now, I'm going into a limb.
unless you want to like memorize the harder speed runs to get through them quicker, it's like the only way we're 100%ing the missiles and power bombs and potentially health, depending on which health upgrades are locked behind the speedrunning. It's basically like unless you want to do all the homework and try to make it work without worrying about being stuck too long. It's like you're basically we're gonna get exactly what we need to get through the final area and smack down the final boss and call it a day. You know?
Hmm.
Yeah. Like if I want to 100% a game, but I don't necessarily think it's something to do on camera, like if we redo Mario Odyssey, I want to follow the moons and the walkthrough to the letter, or at the very least keep a separate checklist so we know what we're missing. But that's definitely a game where you do the base playthrough and then come back later. Like we never got to do our Dinosaur Land playthrough where we were gonna try to go through the secret exits, and because that was like 4 fucking years ago,
Hmm.
we would literally have to go into the Wii U over to the Virtual Console and double check everything we're missing just to 100% the exits. But so I think it would be better done in like a Odyssey Power Mode type thing, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah. And yes, you get to jump on the freerunners' heads at least once.
Yep.
To tell them why you absolutely adore the Cooper freerunning in Mario Odyssey before we wrap up.
I adore it because basically everything that I have to deal with, they can just say, fuck that. I don't have to do that. I'm a fucking computer.
Yeah, no offense to game developers in any country. If the CPU is cheating, that's not a challenge. That's just you being a massive jackass. If you're going, if if you want to give a genuine challenge to the player, make the CPU go have to follow the same rules. Like in the next episode, if I don't forget, like I could talk about multiple instances in which the CPU cheated in Pokemon games. And that's justification alone for cheating in the single player. And I'm not talking about stuff like Lance's Dragonite Nose Barrier at a too low level. No. I'm talking about like the Iron Leaves, the initial raid, because I didn't play the raids after I caught it.
Hmm.
The initial Iron Leaves raid. Yeah, hit up the next save point. We gotta wrap up.
Yeah, I was going to.
Yeah,
I've got one last thing
yeah,
in the
yeah,
loon, but we can save it for next one.
yeah. The Iron Leaves, and I'm gonna leave you all with this. Like the Iron Leaves, the initial raids when Iron Leaves first released. Psyblade was one hit KOing Dark type Pokemon. And when you catch Iron Leaves and try to use Psyblade on Dark type Pokemon, it doesn't affect Pokemon. There's a word for that. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, yeah, cheating. The CPU was straight up cheating to create an unfair advantage.
Mhm.
That's not a challenge. Think about that, and we will see you next time.
See ya.